I was working one day at Edgewood, and I was told that they needed me at the front of the building, and met with some police officers who had brought a small 8-year-old blonde kid who looked a little bit like Dennis the Menace. And the officers asked if we had room for him. We did, so we took him in. Getting to know the child, we learned that his mother was a drug addict who often neglected Billy for days at a time. He was left to manage on his own, to try to find food, to deal with his soiled diaper. When Billy was about 3, he started spending time with his dad. His dad got in trouble with the law and had to run, and they became fugitives together. He often talked about robberies, about living in abandoned homes or in the wilderness to try to hide from the cops. One of the places they stayed was with a few other men who gave them shelter as long as they performed sexual acts for those men. Billy was about 5 or 6 at this time, and he never could talk about what actually happened, but we know a lot happened. When Billy came to Edgewood, he was worried and anxious. He couldn't speak to adults. He often made animal noises when he got scared. He was nervous around other kids. He was so frightened at night that he wouldn't go to sleep. When I'd come in the morning at 7 a.m., he normally hadn't slept at all. And the reason he came to Edgewood was because when he was at all the other agencies in San Francisco, he'd become worried and he'd start climbing. And he'd climb buildings downtown in other parts of San Francisco, and the firefighters couldn't catch him because he was so quick. So we put as many people together and tried to figure out a solution. And we decided to bring him to a climbing gym in the Mission. And so twice a week, I would take him to the gym, and he would climb these huge 3-story climbing walls, and I would belay him, holding the ropes as he scurried up these huge walls. And we taught him how to deal with his anxiety in a totally different way. Billy stands out in my mind because of the way he responded to the care that we gave him. And he took kindly to the home environment at Edgewood. He really loved the idea of having a family, of having a place to sit for dinner, of having his own bed. Eventually, over time, he was able to start telling us how he was feeling. And that's when we got to the point where we could actually replace the animal noises with different activities. He became a very good athlete, was really interested in arts and crafts, and was a master Lego builder. And his desire to be with a family was so strong that I started advocating for him to find a family. We ran an ad in a newspaper in Northern California for a foster family for Billy. We had a number of families respond to the ad, and Billy got to meet these families, and he got to choose his own family, which is an experience that none of us ever get. Last Thanksgiving, I had the pleasure of driving Billy home for the first time.